Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Leo tend to stay a while. So it is
ส
where
วัสดี
many
ครับทุก
things
คน
come
ข
to
อเริ่ม
see.
ช่องไฮโรจังนะครับเดี๋ยววันนี้ผมก็มาลองหน่อยผมได้แคปเจอร์การ์ดแล้วก็ได้ไมค์มาใหม่แล้วผมก็อยากรู้ว่ามันเป็นยังไงนะมันมีเสียงเข้าไหมเดี๋ยวผมขอลองหน่อยอ๋อผมว่าผมไม่ได้เสียงมันใส่เสียงออกมาอยู่โอเคได้ละนี่เราไปเล่นเนื้อเรื่องคอนเทนต์ต่อนะไปเลยแล้วมันเสียงมันเป็นยังไงเดี๋ยวขอลองฟังหน่อยคือลองแล้วแต่มันแปลกๆอ่ะเดี๋ยวลองอีกรอบนึงฮัลโหล
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember, but where are those who share the memory?
รู้สึกเสียงมันสะท้อนยังไงก็ไม่รู้เลยไม่รู้คิดไปเองหรือเปล่าเดี๋ยวลองใหม่เอาเป็นว่าเดี๋ยวขอลองปรับนิดนึงนะฮัลโหลขออันนี้ถอดปลั๊กแล้วใส่ใหม่แล้วนะขอลองใหม่อีกรอบหนึ่ง
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I
ผม
remember,
รู้สึกว่าเสียงมันสะท้อนกล้อง
but
ยังไง
where are
ไม่รู้เลย
those who share
เดี๋ยวข
the
อลอง
memory?
ขอพูดอีกนะคืองี้นะคือมันรู้สึกเสียงมันสะท้อนยังไงก็ไม่รู้เลยเดี๋ยวขอดูเสียงหน่อยนะchannel 1 channel 2นี่คือมันไม่ควรจะมีปัญหาอะไรอ่ะทำไมเสียงมันสะท้อนกล้อง
Where do you want to go next?
คือเสียงผมอยาก
If
ให้
you'd
มัน
like
เค
to
ลีย
see
ร์มาก
Leo as
เดี๋ยว
tourist
ขอลอง
spots,
อาจจะเป็น
I
ระยะที่
have a
1
few
อาจจะลอง
references.
ปรับองศานิดนึงเดี๋ยวขอลองก่อนนะโอเคเดี๋ยวขอไปฟังเสียงแป๊บนึง
Every journey has its final day.
คือเหมือนมันมีเสียง2 อันอ่ะเดี๋ยวผมต้องลองดูว่าอาจจะเป็นเพราะว่ามันมีไมค์อันนึงหรือว่ามันมีอันนึงหรือเปล่าวะaudio อันนี้คือ audio output ใช่ไหม
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember,
เดี๋ยวนะ
but where are those who share the memory?
ฮัลโหลลองใหม่นะทุกคนลองใหม่นะโอเค
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember, but where are those who share the memory?
Please, sign here. This document will be effective immediately upon signing, and you two may exit the Fortress of
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's hurry.
What's happening? I'm fine, thanks. But I wonder what that tremor was just now.
Let's go ask the Duke. Your Grace?
Ah, good to see you two.
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just now?
Ah, that. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I've developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater.
So the fortress is okay?
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowd.
Huh, you've got a point. By the...
I believe today is...
Wait, seriously?
Ah, yes.
Yep. It's you two. Are you leaving now? That's right. Today is our last day in prison. But now that... Oh, yeah. Then be
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go.
You're not going to see...
I knew you...
Well, you actually...
Ah, so...
After being down here for so long, I'm at... Yeah, don't worry. We'll come back.
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to stay out of trouble. Well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Mirabine is finished. That's the end of another chapter in our journey. And since we should probably... You're going to see Monsieur Nervillette?
I'm sure just your regards will do, no?
I believe...
You're right.
The Palais Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Excuse me. I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my hands...
Everyone's so busy. Neuvillette!
Hello. In the meantime, please, have a seat. If you...
That's all right.
Very well, then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his work.
All right.
Are you done with your work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you...
That's right. And we came here to see you right away. Do you have any idea what...
Judging from your... A whale of that...
Immersed in primordial seawater? But how? And is he okay?
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure how he could have gotten there myself. Yes? What is it?
Ah, right. Paimon felt it too. We asked the Duke...
It turns out that I've... The source of the...
The water level...
Fortunately, the water level... If the change in water levels is...
Navia should be in Poisson, right? We need to go check on her.
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave. I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first.
There's no time to lose. Let's get going.
Please be careful.
Oh no. Navia should be around. We haven't seen a single soul all the way here. Oh, this is getting scary.
What will I ever do now?
Look, there's someone on the roof over there.
Just stay put. We're coming up. Watch your balance.
All right, just hurry. I'm not young anymore.
Oh, he looks pretty sad.
My leg! How could this have happened?
Just hang in there. Help is on the way. You can hold my hand if it makes you feel better.
Oh, it's Navia. She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
You're here.
We heard there was a...
Yes.
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to sick.
He's wounded?
He fell. So
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a doctor. He should know where to go.
understood.
All right. I'm sorry. Where were we? Right. Allow me to explain. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, the rushing water seemed everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water. Those who realized the Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible. But the water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater. So the lower level, no one knows if this could happen again.
How awful.
It was quite frightening indeed.
Is there any way we can help?
Thank you.
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Demoiselle! We've got a situation here.
Sorry. I need to go for now.
And out she goes.
Okay. The wounded are, of course, traveler.
Huh? Right now?
Thank you. Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day.
Right. That's.
Navia? Navia, what's.
Sorry. I just. Maloose and Silver. They.
Huh? What happened?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan. They were helping, and I've known them for so long. I could at least hold a funeral for my father, and I know where he rests. But as for Maloose and Silver, they're just gone.
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect that you'd enjoy a glass of red wine in front of Master Callus's grave.
I can understand. Besides,
See, it's not just me. I always want to bring something when I visit Papa. Perhaps we might even have a picnic. He wouldn't be angry, would he?
How could Master ever be upset with you, Demoiselle? Yet the cemetery is the home of those who have passed, is it not?
buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus, Demoiselle.
Hey, stop joking around.
I'm quite serious. That way, it will save us both the trip to see each other whenever you visit your father's grave.
That makes sense. In that case, could I be buried on his other side?
After all, besides you, Demoiselle, the two of us...
Personally, I believe...
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. Oh, but I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I promised to let the... I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess like...
Paimon doesn't know how.
I'd always thought I could make my wishes come. Maloose and Silver have helped me so much. But by contrast, I could do nothing for them. I'm so...
You can spend as much time as you need here, Navia.
By the way, you can have a look at this.
Obana, so...
It's okay. The overall outcome indicates that the cost...
Right! Maloose and Silver were not the price for saving anyone.
You're right. What you said just now...
Oh!
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
The name...
Yes, as for these...
Thank you.
Wait.
We just met recently.
Thanks to the name.
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it wasn't... That said...
I apologize. My subordinate...
This is nothing, as I've told this, lending your...
Without your help...
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Maloose and Silver.
Don't say that. As Paimon said, I've never...
You're right. Water is...
So, you're one...
Of course. By the way, Traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Alright, then we'll just...
That is a clever and useful Traveler, you and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the Fortress of Meripede's sluice gate, and this time it was the water levels in Poisson. These are both signals. Indeed. During some judging by the date, my people initially...
So...
I wanted to take... Linny told... Which is why I want to give you this task. The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family. But Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you. I'm sure you...
Oh!
The intel I just...
Got it! So...
Excuse me, but may I tap...
You wish to join, Miss...
But... Are you sure you're up to exploring?
Well, I'm sad. There's no point. Besides...
Since you put it that way, I have no... All right.
Okay,
They seem to be.
Let's go in.
Just be careful.
Settle down. Be sanctified. An oversight on my part. Stabilize.
The floor here isn't safe.
Bow your head.
This place has also been contaminated.
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontanian would most likely dissolve the moment they fell in.
Right! You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous and it won't be... don't get by my wrong.
No, you're right. That complicates things.
In that case...
The water levels here are unstable, and there's a... I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find...
All right. Oh no, it's a dead end! Let's try climbing over from the side.
Wait, there's something wrong with this bridge! Run!
Demoiselle, what are you doing?
Maybe you should...
Yes, it...
That's quite possible.
Oh, this is...
Is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, I was just trying...
Do you remember...
We were headed to...
Right.
Oh, Miss Navia. Mr. Malus. And Mr. Silver, too. It's good to see all of you.
How have you...
I've been great. They were knocking at...
Sometime.
Oh, yes, Miss Navia. These are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. I don't know.
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, Demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants.
Very well.
Wait. Excuse...
That's right.
No, it's nothing. And why are there so few people around here? Where did everyone go?
We must mind the time.
Huh? We do?
Well, now...
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been. My trial?
Yes, she's right, Demoiselle. It's just.
Oh?
Look, it's Navi.
And her two attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seemed Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen. And as for the judge... huh?
Please sit in the defendant.
All right. But...
Typically, it...
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on. Do they have...
Enough with the whispering!
My dear Miss Navia, have you not yet realized? As all here know, you are Master Callus's successor, the head of the Spina di Rasula, someone held in high regard by every soul in Poisson. After you took over the Spina, not only you, but your butler, Yes, correct. We are one big fam. Therefore, this...
Huh?
Well...
How...
I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
I see...
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She's...
Stay here, Navia! You're one of...
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep...
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Joinville, you owe...
She was born a free and independent spirit.
Her actions cannot... Please do not
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontanians here. Even if Miss Navia only voluntarily rendered her assistance, that doesn't change everything is measured here in the nation of Hydro. And in the end, now I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay.
And you would call this justice? Preposterous. Have you forgotten how much you all once...
Do you mean to defy...
If your justice is...
As you said, we can also have our own justice. And that...
Demoiselle.
Silver, I remember now. Everything that Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid.
Absurd! Who are you to say don't let them escape?
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to... After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying?
No more excuses.
He says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly...
What's with these people? Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us!
Miss Navia...
Silence!
That's...
Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just presented are nonsense and cannot constitute a proper trial. The court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this, I shall hear no objection.
Our thanks, monsieur.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there is still time.
But...
Go on now, demoiselle. This is your only...
Malus.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that...
Malus. Silver.
Quickly, you must...
Goodbye.
Farewell.
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Maloose and Silver were still alive, and they were...
It looks like you're all right.
Did all this happen?
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. You were just about... I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a second, but they gave me the chance to retrieve you. Were it not for their intervention...
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean like what happened with Vash?
Perhaps those 2...
I always...
Please come with me.
Neverlet, are you okay?
Oh, I am...
Why do you look so stiff? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the type who...
I merely thought...
Huh?
Ah, Sijuin.
No way, don't...
I see.
Oh, and the Duke...
Thank you.
He's still... So... Never...
Yes, in fact. Amid my...
Yeah.
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
All right! Another one joins the party! Let's get going then! Oh no! Another unstable path! Watch your step!
Our bond is strong.
Watch out! There are rocks falling over here!
Settle down.
It seems we're almost at the top. Keep it up! Share my knowledge!
I'll settle this. Get with me.
Gather! Silence! The tides beckon.
like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Stone slates. It seems
Perhaps we should just leave them be.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates.
The surrounding.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed. I shall record the history of its future here in its past.
ฮัลโหล
Say what?
ชิบหายแล้วทุกคนผมนึกว่าก่อนนี้ผมน่าจะปิดไว้ไปนานเลยว่ะไอ้เหี้ยลืมปิดไมค์ไปนาน ไอ้เหี้ยลืมเปิดไมค์ไอ้เหี้ยเหมือนพูดคนเดียวไปนานอะตั้งแต่เมื่อไหร่ก็ไม่รู้ ลืมเปิดไมค์ผมก็ว่าอยู่
Feels like
นั่งดูเนื้อเรื่องอยู่ไงไม่ได้สนใจเลยไอ้เหี้ย
And is that a ring of people around here?
The 4th image.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters.
ก็ว่าอยู่
Only
ทำ
the
ไม
Hydro Archon will remain.
ทำไมถึงเขียงไม่ออกเลยนั่นแหละโคตรเที่ยเลยอุ๊ยตายของไอ้เหี้ยแย่ว่ะ
More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover.
Don't blame yourself.
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just. This says that. Still.
That's right. If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the 4th, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before?
And yet the order is reversed here.
If we go by time.
Egeria, then. The previous Archon kneeling before the.
Did she herself commit that sin? Also, I'm still wondering.
But who would have created
ผม
these
คุย
slates
เหมือน
and
ผมคุย
left
กับตัว
these
คนเดียว
words
ตั้งนานเมื่อกี้
here?
อะแม่งลืมเปิดไมค์เฮียโคตรเที่ยเลย
It seems that any further
น่าจะเป็น
clues
ครึ่
will
ง
have
ชั่ว
to
โมง
come.
ได้
In
เกือบ
that
ครึ่ง
case,
ชั่วโมง
there's
ได้มั้ง
Yeah, we better get
Cool
somewhere
คนเดียว
safe
อะ
for now.
เรียบร้อย จบไปอีกหนึ่ง
Let's split up here.
You still.
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard traveler. I will go. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as
แต่บ
well.
ทเมื่อกี้ไอ้ที่
If you
เข้า
have time, drop.
ห้องอ่ะไอ้
She has
เข้าสนาม
long
โบราณ
been.
สถานผมว่ามันอยู่นะ
I will be kept.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house. กลับมาจ้า
Welcome back.
Yay! And there's good food too. Navi, no, the boss is.
เฮ้ยเราก็เฮ้ยดีเหมือนกัน
Paimon's already starting to.
Oh, that voice. Is that.
Huh?
It's.
จะได้โมนาน่ารักอ่ะ ขอสุ่มถ้าหลุดนะ ขอไม่ให้หลุดดิขอเป็นถ้าเป็นตัวในตู้ถาวรนะอย่างนี้น้องโมนาโคตรน่ารักเลย ผมก็ชายชอบผู้หญิงตัวน่ารักน่าหัวไงแม่ง
Seriously?
มีคนชอบเลยน่ารัก
Well,
อ่ะ
I have some. Why did you think?
ดูหน้า
Well, I used to have my own. There was nothing for it. Nope.
Nope.
Although it is used by.
Wow!
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as
โมนานี่เหมือน
Astromancer.
สาวน้อยเวทมนต์เลย
My name means.
Thrice as great?
I know.
Talk about it.
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it.
That sounds terrible. But anyway, you're not Fontaine.
Well, I was born.
Oh, that's...
There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. The invitation was sent quite
What do you make?
What I can tell you, I'm afraid, but on the flip side...
A visionary?
Of course. The old hag could do it.
Huh? Thanks, Mona.
Oh, well.
That's the greatest...
Indeed.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about.
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us suspicious looks.
Yeah.
Right, but we were able to recruit...
ช่างเถอะไป
Good morning.
ไพมอนมึงง่วงนอนด้วยเหรอวะเนี่ย
This time I'm still feeling... But it's time to get up.
ไปถึงเวลาต้องไปแล้วน้องติดคือต้องไปยังไงเนี่ย วนเดี๋ยวนะว่าไม่ใช่ละโอเคแล้วต้องไปนี่ว่ะไม่ต้องกดนี้หรอกโอเคดูเรื่องนี้เลยว่ะอัพของให้นิดหน่อยด้วยไว้ของปึ้งเฮ้ยเป็น20พอดีเลยเว้ยได้ของมาเพชรมานิดหน่อยเอาของกันนิดหน่อยได้พลังงานมาด้วย
You're here. Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina, they...
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet it is not mine. Look at this.
You mean...
We did not arrive in time to avert it. I will say this once more. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates.
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now, but...
That's correct. The second of the...
I don't.
I'll ask you, my disciple...
All gods don't have the same secret. I understand your concern.
Forgive me for saying this now, lady. There are several... This is not strange. You have never been...
Well, since you know, there's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me. Your arc, that's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter. Oh, the opera's about to start.
ถึงเวลาแสดงแล้วรอไปดูละครฟรีนะดีกว่าน่ารักดียอง slow motion โอเค
Did Farina
เสียดาย
not
มาก
know?
เลยอ่ะเมื่อกี้ก่อนหน้านี้ประมาณ10 นาทีอ่ะก่อน
I assume you've been outside.
Oh,
ผมไอ้เนี่ย
you
ลืม
noticed.
เปิดไม
She
ค์
was in a great
แม่งเสียง
panic.
ไม่เข้าเลย
Though I cannot discern the reason.
โคตรเซ็ง
Still, I
ลื
do
มเปิด
not
ไมค์
understand.
โคตรเวรกรรมเลย
everyone in her
ตอนนั้น
inner.
ผม
We may
ผม
have
กด
to.
ปิดไมค์เป็นตอนนั้นน่ะ
Normally,
ที่เช็ค
people will.
เสียงอะแล้วผมลืมเปิด
We will need to consider this thoroughly. Join forces, if at all possible. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine.
เราต้องรีบไปหาน้องฟูรินาแล้ว
Well, speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved.
And here you are drinking tea.
That's what family.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for.
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about.
Me?
Then, how about you?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things.
That was a little long-winded.
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be.
Oh?
Well.
Huh? Didn't you say.
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good.
I see.
He is glad that you.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunt?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette,
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before.
ทำเสียงว่ะ
Does that.
I'm afraid not,
เสียงลินนี้
though
ไม่เหมือ
that
น
was
ผู้
their
ชายมาก
name.
เลย
Today, Fontaine's
ทำไมเป็นผู้
a
ชาย
trap
วะ
comprises of the following
ผมว่าเหมือน
components.
ผู้หญิงนะ
So, if we were to build a
ผู้ชา
trap
ยวะ
together, right now.
For me, our line of.
You use some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson.
Yes, and I.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant. With discretion, I'm sure.
ผมเลยฝากว่าเฮ้ย
I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
นี่อาการรวมกลุ่มของสาวๆอย่าว่า
I did.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any related experience.
That
มี
makes
ประสบ
sense.
การณ์วะเขาบอกว่า
You usually, but I do have one. If we were to create. Kind. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement.
เขาไม่ตายทีเดียวเว้ย
However, that also goes for prey that must be
Wait.
ทำไมล่ะ
Why is that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
ไม่ฝึก
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey, but we shall require much more.
Oh.
tough few days. Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised. It's hard to say. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Did you just pour... Paimon's never seen that...
Don't be frightened. What? And yet, even you feel confused. As such, I couldn't resist but come by for some tea and a chat. Consider me a passerby. Just... Precisely. Call me the prophecy.
What?
People call such things fate, and it is written. Just as prophet are the things that you shall
What is she
I believe that you understand, right? Ultimately,
The voice. Paimon here's... Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Mona!
Fine, just fine. Not all Fontanians are pessimistic about this. One
did you...
Why, yes, I'm in full...
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Yes. About... Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the gods gave...
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. But I've never...
Whoa.
Their abilities alone.
Well, it's not like...
Yes, perhaps it is something... Traveler, Paimon...
Oh, we're fine.
I see. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed, but even so, perhaps that's what En was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart. I did originally think of steering...
You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. Sorry about that. The moment I start talking about work-related stuff... I need to get going. It was worth trying. I suppose that might...
Paimon feels kinda moved by what Mona said. Hey, Traveler. Paimon suddenly feels like going... Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by. Written in this news? Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the fortress... My recent attempts to... Thus, didn't... So while the journalist Charlotte... Charlotte took... She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead? Seriously? Well, fine. limited edition, only 16 slices a day cake! It was so delicious the last time.
1 slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too?
Wait,
That's right.
do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily
Then what if someone.
But why would it?
Well.
นี่ไม่ลืม
the
เปิดไมค์นะ
No,
นี่
no.
ไม่ได้พูดเลย นั่งไลน์
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have these 2 slices are for you?
Oh, you know CJ.
I sure do. She said that I've got something else to do.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. It's more Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious. Oh, we're near the Seabird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a
นะทำไมเควสมันหายวะ เอ้ย เดี๋ยวนะมันหายไปไหนวะเนี่ยทำไมทำพลาดอันนี้4ใช่ไหมยัง4อยู่ใช่ไหม อ๋อ5 แต่ว่า EP หน้าก็ได้จบแล้วอะเชี่ยอะไรเนี่ย โอเคได้มาสัมภาษณ์ผมแล้วดีนะที่ไม่ต้องรีบไม่ต้องเป็นนะ
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon!
Ha! You got.
Oh, you needn't. It's all right, though. I've set aside.
Really? Oh, Paimon no.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden?
A friend of ours met you.
Ah, so you know. So she mentioned me?
She said that you're.
Nice.
Huh? So your artist.
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen and experienced.
Yeah.
Why not?
Oh.
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for lighting, a venue, some Ooh, so much.
Wait, Charlotte. Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that? If you're... From what I've seen, so in all likelihood, I'd probably still be Just think about it. If this And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that... I'm not a dreamer, but anyway...
That's... So... Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty... Paimon's been thinking. If it wasn't fun... No, but... We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't You mean... Still? Huh.
มาถ่ายรูปสักแช็คหนึ่งไอ้ภาพมันยังดูไม่ค่อยชัดเหมือนเดิมวะนี่ก็1080ดีนะ
Feels like it'll grow mold if you But it's still better.
Ah, so the two of you are still here.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia.
Yes, I'm Isadora.
Isadora.
Not a... Yes.
A riot?
Well, that Lady Farina loudly accused... And before the crowd continued...
So people...
I agree.
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation, the Marishose
So, you mean—
That's right. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her?
ขอลองหน่อย6,000
Good.
Don't worry.
Is that...
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Potsal then. If we know and as we're nervelep, it would be hard to find things. Huh.
จ
Well,
ริงๆอ่ะใน
in that case, there's—
คอมภาพมันค่อนข้างชัดนะ
This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible. That's Farina.
What was meant to... I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry, but what can I even do? Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina.
น้าไม่เป็นไรนะน้อง
Farina.
What?
They even dare to tout their art. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marishose Phantom are freaking out right next to them too.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after—
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are? That's...
Farina just ran off! Quick, we have to catch up!
ภาพก็ค่อนข้างชัดอยู่นะ ผมดูในนี้ก็ค่อนข้างชัดนะเอ้ยแต่ว่าสัดส่วนมันแปลกๆนะน่าจะไม่มีหาอะไรนะอยากให้อยากให้คนดูดูภาพชัดๆนะเดี๋ยวผมต้องลองปรับกราฟิกไหม งั้นเครื่องก็ร้อนจีดนะ
This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding—
What?
Hurry, they're almost—
Fine. I suppose haste.
อยากรู้ว่าถ้าเกิดปรับให้มันแรงขึ้นมันจะเป็นยังไงวะ ผมปรับดูว่ะค่อนข้างแย่ว่ะเดี๋ยวนะขอปรับให้มันสูงขึ้นหน่อย FPS 60 อยากรู้อ่ะเดี๋ยวขอปรับให้มันดีขึ้นหน่อยผมอยากให้คนเล่นคนดูใช่ไหมก็ดูภาพที่สวยที่สุด ลองจริงๆมือถือมันรับได้อยู่แล้ว ก็เผื่อจะเพราะว่าผมขยายภาพไงพันเลยไม่คมนะ
No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm.
Yep, that's it.
What's happened?
Yeah. A quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, did it?
It can't be.
Well, there's no need to worry too—
Yeah, but the people of...
ก็คมอยู่พอสมควรระดับนึงนะคมขึ้น
It's true. I've tried, but oh my, we cannot make an enemy. Indeed, fate. But just know, it all, as long as the don't worry.
Well, that's enough for now. Don't take...
Come on!
Cher, that's impossible. A witness. And if to that...
มาแล้วถึงเรื่องแล้ว
I
นุกกำลังมาแล้วลุกเลย
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes. Do not forget, however, that I am Fosalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself. Does it not strike you as even the least bit absurd to bring the very concept of justice to trial?
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
You would draw your blade against a god? I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Paimon can't believe it.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly
Lady Farina, what is the meaning of this?
It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. I will admit that I've been running away for a long time. I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. I too... But now, it is time for the Hydro-Archon to show you her courage and resolve. I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice. This time, I will protect you. Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes. Mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro-Archon, Fosalor, will now begin!
Woohoo!
Oh, now we're making history!
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she...
All right, then. Who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Is that so? Very... Also, please allow me to ask, Mazzy, just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di
เราไม่อยาก
Rosula.
ทำร้ายฟูรินาเลย
The president of the...
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the opera house as regular audience. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself.
So, you mean... the ones who scoured the settlement...
And their goal...
That's right.
As the super ultimate the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Erenie. Was an Archon. My thanks, Farina. Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. We had to select a location.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box.
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight. Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch.
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon without flinching.
โอเค
Thank you.
As for you, Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found you'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage. Oh? It's fine. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience.
ว่าตัดสิน
Let's see this trial through to the very end.
Madam Prosecutor, please allow me to This is a doc.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's... Oh, let Paimon see. So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument. Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
You defeated the Hydro-Archon in the very first duels you took part in. I didn't think that, according to Monsieur...
นี่ผมต้องไปสู้กับคุรินาเนี่ยโอ้โห
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
ผมไม่อยากให้จมอะไรนะคุรินาเลยอะ
Oh, come on, and just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. Of course, it is only natural for human...
That's true, but my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon.
มาละ
Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
อาคอนเหรอ
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro-Archon.
Charge accepted. Lady Farina, do you plead guilty to the charge? Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Yeah, even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be super irresponsible.
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro-Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory. See? Even if you wished.
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? You have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
Well, and if I was...
That doesn't sound right. Paimon doesn't think this clue can be used as compelling evidence to build our case.
ไปหาไปของละว่าต้องเลือกอัน
Was it the...
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an arc, but in light of this claim,
Neverlet sensed it too, huh?
Lady Farina is actually a human?
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell human.
Well, don't start. Besides, everyone knows that for centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the indemnitium that is used in every aspect of life.
กูไม่อยากทำเลยว่ะมันตัวนี้ป่ะเดา
That doesn't...
ไม่ใช่
You tried to reference the Oratrice, but what...
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally...
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina. I've merely reiterated the rules of the court.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned...
The real Hydro-Archon. Well, it is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally. And it has been You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be...
My power as an Archon. There are many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate the formidable power of an Archon?
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to
You don't need to...
Aren't you the Hydro-Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro?
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into Indemnitium! Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called a god?
Well...
It seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar. I'm still the same Farina you knew, right? Please?
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too?
Enough. That's enough. Tell me then, if you have no evidence of another Hydro-Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. How can we refute her now?
แล้วจะหาจากไหนวะแค่นี้แหละไม่อยากจะทำร้ายเลยอะแต่ว่าไม่อยากทำร้ายน้องฟรีนะเลย
That doesn't sound right.
น้องฟรีนะเนี่ยนะ
That doesn't sound right.
หาเลยแต่งเดียวเหรอ
It has been established.
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court.
ใช่ใช่
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area, including those of some of my closest friends. So, Miss Farina, would you, if we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro-Archon, touching the seawater, but if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson.
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontanian like all the rest.
Lady Farina, this test.
Well, of course he had to tell.
She's just staring at the water without.
What's going on?
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina, you may.
Hey!
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon! I'm nothing like a normal human.
Miss Siegewin? If you're present, Miss Siegewin, please come.
Siegewin? Don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. She was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater.
Thank you, Miss Siegewin. Lady Farina.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved. Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of this. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. We don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low concentration. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually.
I can't believe you. Listen to me, everyone. Think about it. How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater? Also, if I was...
นี่เหมือนคนที่กำลังจะจม
Please,
โดน
everyone,
ว่าโดนอะไร
anyone, just listen to me. I swear, I really am your Archon.
I don't think anything she says at the.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
บ๊ายบายน้องคุณลินะผมก็ยังรักเหมือนเดิมนะมาเมื่อไหร่ผมก็ยังจะเปิด
will sway Haiiro is too stacked against her now.
จากเลย
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is guilty.
guilty ว่ะโอ้โหน้ำตาไหลเลยสงสารน้องอ่ะ สงสารจริง
We shall now turn to the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges.
จริงก็ไม่ใช่ความผิดน้องเขาทั้งหมดด้วย
According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale.
Well, what's wrong? What's the oratrice's verdict?
No, the oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
ทำไมวะมันไม่มีเสียงวะ
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus: the Hydro-Archon, guilty, to be punished via the death sentence.
The death sentence?
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought that it was just a myth.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court, and it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected twist.
Furina's been sentenced to death by the oratrice?
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah, even Fauché wasn't sentenced to death by the oratrice.
Indeed. Not only is Farina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial, but now, the oratrice...
Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is the trial still?
Fremine! You finally made it. I assume this.
ให้ปรับสุดถ้าไม่ได้เปิดแอร์นี่มาเอาไม่อยู่เนี่ย
Is that the first Huh. So the name.
I looked everywhere, but has the trial.
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me...
เครื่องร้อนจีเลยทุกคน
Believe that you have already seen the other existing slates. Would like you...
Huh? So what do you see? What is it?
อยากปรับสุดนะเนี่ย
I believe I've now...
Huh? So when.
In truth, however, I'm uncertain...
Okay, let's.
อยากได้ภาพสวยสุดไงเอาภาพมาสวยจริงนะ
The first stone slate, does that mean that Fontainians? The second stone slate shows select. This must be the point. The third slate shows the high. Huh. Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontainians have been talking about. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we?
We know from the cat that. Perhaps what it the
แค่โกนแผ่นหินแค่โกนต้องน่าจะอันนี้ปะ
It's not a the prophecy the if
They'll dissolve into the primordial. The Hydro-Archon was set. Navia fell into the water inside those. The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meripede was the surest sign that
ทุกอย่างมันคือสิ่ง
the
ที่
stone
ถูก
slates
กำหนดไว้แล้วสินะ
Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now. So that's how you can make sense of it. But
Let's hear them.
Incredible. We're.
all Fontaine, the evidence. Oh, and according.
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the that could also.
The Hydro-Archon.
And yet, after many hundred...
Yeah, show in the end. Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, however, while you were able to decode all the info when we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information. Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt.
ลองอ่านความจริงรอบหนึ่งไปไหนดูซิจะเป็นยังไงอุ๊บเยส
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontanians and the sin of the Hydro-Archon were both. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro-Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro-Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro-Archon as one of the seven did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanids' blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontanians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would... Of course, the Hydro-Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro-Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history.
So we were all...
That's way too much information for me. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro-Archon be sent...
This really might be too much.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth, a key point of they have not been dissolved. Which the nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well. You may also recall, therefore, that the people of Fontaine... Yes.
I think that in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly...
What should we do?
ฉากสำคัญจะมาแล้ว
If that's the case...
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your... about the fourth slate. However, as for the root cause of the catastrophe... This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the...
หาต้นตอของภัยพิบัติพิสูจน์ความจริง
That doesn't...
กูกดไปก่อนนะโอเค
It was both
วาน
If we're talking about
วาน
a
แห่งปรากฏ
truth...
การณ์
the truth, the original sin, the trial.
มาแล้วภาพโคตรสวยอ่ะ เหมือนอยู่ในหนังเลยทุกคน
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the opera house? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
So we've met it at last. I understand very well that whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the star. It has been greedily, and once it has finished consuming all of the.
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontanians out of a.
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make it.
We just.
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that harbinger for buying us some time. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle
เชี่ย
maniac.
ฉากเมื่อกี้แม่งโคตร
We've
มันอ่ะ
always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster recorded in the prophecy,
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim.
That's not something I will accept.
ใช่ยอมรับ
We've
ไม่ได้
already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. You can't just tell me that the last hurdle is some impossible foe. That's just not fair.
Indeed, that's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end. No matter.
so the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
คำพยากรณ์เกิดอะไรขึ้นวะคำพยากรณ์น่าจะออกมาดีปะวะ
The prophecy.
บทฝาดแห่งอนาคตว่ะเฮ้ยยากที่จะขืนโชคชะตาเดี๋ยวนะโชคชะตาเหรอ
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods,
โดยปกติ
could things be happening in hidden corners where the god's gaze does not fall? Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future.
มองข้ามอะไรหรือเปล่านะของเราของพูลีน่าคืออะไรกันแน่นะมาแล้ว
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Farina!
เนี่ยเกิดอะไรขึ้นวะ
No, I still need answers.
เชี่ย อุ้ยขนลุกเลยขนลุกเลยเชี่ยใครอ่ะ เฮ้ยดูลิน่าเหรอร่างยังไง
You.
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Farina. Who are you?
Ah, the sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know, the god.
Focalor. Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Good, the heavenly principles.
คนแห่งสวรรค์
Deceiving the heavenly principles.
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the form. She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the... So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her.
So you were also once one of the...
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, after becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as the me, you see. She could feel joy, sorrow, and her strengths were of a kind. But in my eyes, Furina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human. Anyway, so then I cursed. All part of the plan, of course. The plan... Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon, alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Furina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die, but nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create... I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Furina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been 500 years. And all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
น่าสงสารแกน่าสงสารน้องฟูรินา ขึ้นทางนี้ไปได้เลยนะเสียเวลาจริงๆโอเคนะอุตส่าห์นะ
Oh, who permitted you to come onto the stage? All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. Mary. Oh, do not I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance and nobility. audience. The performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough. Stand with me.
Settle down.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
I see everything.
This way.
Silence! Let the mighty be humbled.
ดีครับทุกคนตอนนี้การจดจ่อกันเรื่องอย่างเข้มข้นของฟอนเทนนะมันเข้มข้นมากตอนนี้ในเรื่องการหาหลักฐานน้องฟลูรินาน้องฟลูรินาเป็นตัวละครที่ผมชอบมากนะเป็นตัวละครที่ทำให้ผมมาเล่นเกมเกนชินเลยก็ว่าได้นะชอบมากน้องฟลูรินาน่ารักจริงใช่ไหม
Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're mirror me? How?
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that.
Mirror me. What do you wish to say?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? Wait. I know. I think. I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only.
Oh. Very good. You know it well.
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only thing I know for sure is this prophecy. Will it really come to pass?
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no escaping it.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if I've already met you as my magical meeting in this world, if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side and my pain on the other, is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
You truly are the perfect human, my ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
เป็นความยุติธรรมของเจ้าสินะ
Don't worry, it's nothing.
ไม่ต้องกังวลหรอก
Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role, that of the new Archon.
Play as a god?
จะต้องรับบทเป็นเทพ
That's
เทพ
right.
แห่งน้
You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But
ทุกคนรู้หมดแล้
how
วเนี่ย
will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry.
ไม่ต้องกังวล
What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
ธรรมชาติของมนุษย์
I'm still not sure I understand, but
เรา
I'll
จะลองดู
try.
นะ
So,
ลองดูหน่อย
how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will endure and not grow old until your task ends.
จะทรมานน้องไปไหนเนี่ย
I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be
เพราะว่าวัน
saved.
นี้เรามาถึงแล้ว
A trial, huh? How exciting. I'll be looking forward to it.
น่าสงสารน้องนะน้องไม่ได้ทำอะไรผิดเลยอ่ะโอ้แต่น้องอยู่มาตั้ง500 ปีนะโดยที่ไม่แก่เลยอ่ะ แอบน่าสงสารน้องนะไม่เป็นไรเราก็มาคุยกันได้นะทุกคนคือผมก็อยู่แบบนี้ไปอีกเอาให้จนจบแหละจนจบอาร์คนี้แหละคุยกันเรื่อยเปื่อยแหละผมอ่ะมีเรื่องคุยได้ทุกเรื่องนะแต่มันขึ้นยังไงเนี่ยต้องขึ้นข้างหลังผมมาฉายชิลเรื่อยเปื่อยแล้วไงดูกันอีกยาวๆเราให้ยังมีเกมเล่นนะ
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people.
เราจะรับตำแหน่งเทพน้ำแล้วสิ
What should I say to most appear like a god?
อะไรดีเนี่ย
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, I am Verena de Fontaine, your new Archon.
อ้าวเสียงเบาเหรอโอ้ขอบคุณครับเสียงอะไรเบาอะครับเสียงเนื้อเรื่องเสียงเรื่องหรือว่าเสียงพูดอะครับเดี๋ยวผมจะเพิ่มให้เดี๋ยวผมเพิ่มให้นะครับฮัลโหลครับตอนนี้เป็นไงบ้างครับตอนนี้เสียงดังขึ้นยังครับฮัลโหลครับ
In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's
อ๋อ
new
เสียงพูด
god,
ใช่ไหมครับขอบคุณ
but
ครับ
it will be my honor to guide you all.
เดี๋ยวผมเพิ่มให้นะครับโอเคผมว่ามันเปิดตรงไมค์ได้โอเคเพิ่มแล้วตอนนี้เป็นไงบ้างครับเดี๋ยวเราจะลดเสียงเพลงนิดนึงให้เสียงพูดมันดังขึ้นโอเค อ๋อโอเคขอบคุณมากครับได้นะขอบคุณมากครับ
As the god Focalor, the god of justice, I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice.
โอเคงั้นเรามาต่อกันโอเคเราจะ
Once again, thank you all
ท้าย
for
กันทุก
coming.
คน
If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together, after all.
ขอบคุณทุกคนที่เข้ามารับชมด้วยแล้วก็ขอบคุณนี่ด้วย
Should do it.
โอเคมาน่าจะโอเคแล้วล่ะ
I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able to convey my thoughts just fine. Okay, and next.
โอเค
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
นึกว่าจะน่าเกลียดข่าวกว่านี้สิโอ้ยอย่าว่าน้องสิโอ้
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
ต้องส่ง
Shouldn't gods be all powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person then?
ไอ้พวกนายอย่าโยนภาระให้น้องสิ
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-backed puppet.
เชื่อว่ะ
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Oh, this is right. Mirmi said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Farina. Think.
ใจเย็น
What do the people want? How would they imagine a god to speak and act? Assertive, with a strong sense of presence, one who can dispel all doubt. That is the character I'm fated to play.
ใช่เป็นละครข้างถึงเลยอะ
Very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them?
โอเคเอาเรื่องว่ะ
Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self, here in this opera house. You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the atmosphere. Now then, let us be reintroduced.
มาแนะนำตัวอีกครั้งดีกว่า
So that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
เป็นละครนี่เอง
Personality. It's quite shocking, to be honest.
โอเคโดดเด่นว่ะ
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful. Our future may yet be bright after all.
ต้องภูมิใจน้องกันเยอะๆหน่อยนะน้องสาเสียสละมาต้องใช้เวลาถึง500 ปีเลยทีเดียว
It seems I've
หมายถึ
turned
งหลังจากนี้นะ
Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice.
พูดแล้วขนลุกเลย
We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that justice is most fragrant when it blooms amid sin.
ต้องแซงออกอย่างจริงใจสินะ
They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they want me to play.
งั้นแซงเกินจริงไปเลยกัน
Of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its god. On one side, it must carry fairness and justice. And on the other, praise and applause. May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the future of Fontaine. There is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve. All that is needed is for you, my people, to believe in it, heart heart and soul. So long as I, the Archon Focalor, stand within the Opera Epiclese, so long as I
เทพอสูร
stand
Focalor
before the Oratrice, I shall even judge the gods of this world.
เสียงมึงทรงพลังมากเลยโอ้ยแต่น้องชุดนี้สวยนะแต่ก็ชุดคลาสสิกอะมาฉากที่3ต่อโอ้โหเรื่องนี้คือแบบเต็มอิ่มจริงๆสำหรับคนที่ชอบน้องฟูรินะซึ่งผมก็ชอบมากๆเป็นบทฟูรินะเต็มเลยหลังจากผ่านมา4บทที่ไม่มีบทเลย
Come now, was I not just at the Opera House in person?
บ่น
Leave
ละ
these kinds of things to Neuvillette.
ปล่อยให้นูเดจัดการเลย
Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial are you truly looking forward to?
ตัวคอยคือแบบไหนเหรอ
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end all things.
การตัดสินใจที่น่าสนใจ
Hope to understand.
คู่เลยก็คงไม่เข้าใจแหม
That's true. I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now, do your duties. The trial I await. It will come one day.
ไม่ต้องเกรงใจก็ได้สินะนั่นแหละเดี๋ยวมันต้องมาถึงสักวันหนึ่งแล้วมันมาถึงจริงๆด้วยแต่ก็นะ
Lady Farina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not?
ขอบคุณมากนะที่มาพูดคุยกันวันนี้นะ
I'm afraid that's just an inevitable consequence of my divine charm.
เทพเจ้าของเรา
Deoteria, is it? How is your son's illness?
You remember
ยังจำได้อยู่สินะ
and you knew of my family too.
โอ้โห
He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you and to bring your words back to him.
น้องฟูรินะ
Good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate to come and tell me. Going down to citizens' homes every so often, while not usual practice, should serve as a fine change of pace.
เป็นห่วงเป็นใยคนอื่นด้วยนี่สินะผู้นำที่แท้จริง
You're such a gentle and wise God. Thank you once again on behalf of my son.
ต้องไปอีกฝั่งเลยสินะมันเป็นฉากๆเลยอ่ะเจ๋งดีว่ะเจ๋งดี
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of, I'm afraid things still don't look good.
ค่าพารามิเตอร์ไม่ค่อยดีเท่าไหร่
I see. It's as I thought then.
ในฐานะของเท
As
พ
your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how far your human wisdom would allow you to analyze it.
อย่าพูดอย่างนี้สิ
All manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass. Forget it. That's not something you need to worry about right now.
แต่ไม่ใช่สิ่งที่กังวลตอนนี้หรอกนะ
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels.
Really?
ใช่เหรอ
Have they found anything?
พบอะไรบ้างอะ
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effective solution thus far.
ยังไม่มีวิธีแก้ไขปัญหาเลยล่ะ
Is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods after all. Still, their spirit is praiseworthy.
ไปดูคนป่วยปะเนี่ยที่เตียงนอนเนี่ย
The day is finally over. I
ในที่สุด
haven't had a moment
ก็จ
to
บวันแล้ว
breathe this, but it's good to see that everything's getting on track. There are no longer any voices of suspicion.
ดีที่ไม่มีเสียงข้าข้องใจอีกละ
Maybe this
ก็
is
ดีแล้ว
fine.
แต่น้อง
I just need to keep going, and everyone will be saved.
แต่น้องเสียงดูน่ากังวลมากเลยอ่ะ
All right, Farina, don't think too hard about this.
ใช่วันนี้ต้องจัดการต่อแล้วรีบนอนเถอะน้องนอนดึกไม่ดีนะโอ้ยฉากที่4
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest cases, as well as a summary of the follow-up.
There'll be no need for that. I've seen them already.
ฉันเบื่อเนี่ย
There's no need to go back over scenes I've witnessed in person before.
Lady Farina, I've waited so long for this
เสียงเหมือน
chance
คน
to
ป่วย
see
เลย
you
อะ
in this manner.
Indeed, my dear loyal citizen. This joyous moment is an honor for us both.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson.
ท่านฟูรินะมีความผิดปกติ
Understood.
โอเคเข้าใจแล้ว
Monitoring. Keep.
ฝากจัดการด้วยฝากดูด้วยแล้วกัน
I don't think I let anything slip today. I
ไม่
must
มีปัญ
show
หาเลยหรอกมั้ง
people that there is nothing to worry about.
ใช่ยังไม่มีอะไรต้องกังวลน้อง
I just
น้องสาว
don't know when these days will end. I feel utterly exhausted.
เฮ้ยอย่า
Best to rest early today too.
อย่ากังวลเลยนะ มันจะไม่เป็นไรโอ้น้องน่าเศร้าอ่ะ อยู่คนเดียวมันเหงานะมันเหงาจริงๆมาเชี่ยฉากสุดท้ายแล้วปะเฮ้ยฉากที่ 182,375
Lady Farina, it's like a dream being able to speak with you up
แต่ว่าเหมือน
close
time
like
skip อะดิ
this. I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience.
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer, a descendant of a line most ardent.
ทำไมเสียงดูไม่ค่อยดีเลยวะ
Surely you exaggerate, Lady Farina.
น้อง
Are you crying?
อุ้ยน้องคนนี้เป็นไรเนี่ย
Really now? I didn't even notice.
น้อง
This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters.
No wonder. A manifestation of your power, then. Oh,
Đây,
God,
cái này là-
I am honored to have witnessed it. Honored indeed.
เฮ้ยน้องอย่าร้องไห้เลยนะ
So interminable.
500 ปีไง
So lonely.
เหงาจริงนะ อยู่คนเดียวอ่ะ
Much longer. Hundreds of years
หลาย
must
ร้อย
have
ปีแล้วสิ
passed
นะ
by now. Perhaps the show must go on for hundreds more.
ฟังแล้วน่าสงสารจริงๆนะเอาจริงอ่ะ
Hurt so much.
มันน่าเจ็บปวดและทรมานจริง
Reached my limit. No.
it long ago.
เศร้าเลยอะ
Today I didn't even notice my own tears. I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But would that not destroy all I've done so far? I've conducted. All I can do is keep. น้องน่าสงสารอ่ะ
Farina, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone.
อย่าแบกรับคนเดียวเลย
Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
อาจจะเป็นอย่างนั้นก็ได้นะ เสียงของฉันเหรอ หรือว่าฉากนี้แล้วคือตอนที่เราอยู่กับฟรีนะในกล่องไมโครขนาดใหญ่เฮ้ยฟรีนะอยากจะบอกฉันแล้วตอนนี้สินะ
Share. That's impossible.
มันเป็นเรื่องเป็นไปไม่ได้
It
หรอก
was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
เป็นเรื่องของฉันคนเดียวที่แบก
But
ต้องแบ
even
กรับ
if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
ใครจะไปเราก็ได้นะ
Witness. Yes, I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you? If that's the case, she's right. But if things don't play out as no, Farina, you shouldn't be selfish. But what if, Farina, is it such if you let this up? Think about it, long and hard. No, all you need to do, dear spectator, is to
Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth?
Yes, it had to be done. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine?
Ah, good. Of course, the Udex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Linny did mention that he heard it now seems that—
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would— Alas, you're in truth, it is no enactor of justice.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed. I mean, Did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina suffered? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be.
It was all part of your plan.
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontaine, but...
So the Oratrice is called the destruction of that divine throne. If I do not miss...
Returning what's... In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro-Archon to the Hydro-Dragon of this planet.
But...
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro-Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite Hydro-Dragon, Hydro-Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontainians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence. Defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on, that should be the justice enthroned over all others. At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontainians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long. Iudex Nervilette, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign.
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too. At last, I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalor. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervalette.
ก่อน
I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
ได้มาคอนตั้ง500 ปีอะ ตายไหมเนี่ย จงทำตามอย่างที่หวังเถอะ
I, Iudex Nervalette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
ฉากนี้ทำมาได้ดีนะ เกิดอะไร
What
ขึ้น
just
เนี่ย
happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection?
เกิดอะไร
I
ขึ้น
have
เนี่ย
a feeling that something huge just happened.
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
น่าจะมีอะไรดีๆเกิดขึ้นอยู่นะ
It's time to end this.
จบ
We
แล้ว
must mete out punishment to that beast.
ถึงเวลาจบละ
Didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it
ได้พลัง
through
มาแล้ว
certain
จัด
means.
การมัน
And now we should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry.
คิด
Traveler,
สินะ
now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me mete out justice. The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine, the beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring narwhal.
All Devouring Novel เป็น novel คืนกินดารา
Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has come.
ถึงเวลาลงทันละ ต้องมาสู้กับวาละมันหนังเลยอะเสียงมันในหนังเลยอะ
We're going to execute it? But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
I've already done my best to separate the power of the primordial sea from the wave. But considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together.
Solidify!
down.
ยิงไม่เข้าเลย
Sorrow turned into hostility.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Order guide you. Bow your head. The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. Chance will present itself.
The bond is strong.
Gather. Solidify.
ก่อนหนาจัด
The bond is strong.
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
Sharing my knowledge. I see everything.
Gather. Let the mighty be humbled.
ถูกต้อง โอ้
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. Should have been my job, but oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point.
That power. Who are you exactly?
ใครกันแน่เนี่ย
Hyman has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master. Skirk, it's just that he gave us the impression that she was the less talkative person.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world. So you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important... All in all, it...
Miss Skirk?
The point...
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed... So what sort of person is your master? Well, Child's master's master.
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did. His name is Sertologi.
I am unfamiliar.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous.
The foul?
Still nothing? Well, how about the visionary? Better Fulnir then? Or Gold Rhine-Daughter?
ไม่คุ้นหูอีกแล้วเนี่ย
Ooh, that one we've heard. Rhine-Daughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
แม่ของอาเบโดเลย
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. But I suppose you understand now, yes?
น้อง
My
น่ารักจังเล
master
ย
is
เกิร์ก
likely
อะ
a similar sort to Rhine-Daughter. They are both
ไม่
pursuing
ได้นาน
some
เลยส
form
วย
of
ดิพูดว่า
perfection.
คำว่าสวยดิคิดว่ามันจะมีไหมเดี๋ยวนะผมมีภาพไหมในเนี่ยในใหม่อะ
Wait, didn't you also mention a visionary person?
Visionary
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown in. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
What?
ไปนะผมกำลังดู
Not
อยู่
to
ว่าหนึ่ง
worry.
หาอยู่ว่ามันเงามันคุ้นๆหรือเปล่าวะ
In
เอ
the
อ
end,
ใช่
the people
เจอ
will
ละ
all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain,
ผมว่าคล้ายอยู่นะ
her throne.
นี่ไง เอาภาพมาแชร์ได้ไหมเนี่ย ผมว่าเหมือนจริงนะ เออ
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
โคตรเหมือนเลย เหมือนคนที่ใส่หมวกข้างๆอ่ะในที่มันมีในสปอยอ่ะเมื่อวานอ่ะแม่งเหมือนจริงนะโคตรเหมือนเลยเมื่อวันก่อนอ่ะทางนี้ ป้าโทรมาเมื่อกี้
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Let's initiate emergency rescue.
Hurry! Hey, lend a hand!
Hello มาแล้ว
Look! The water's receding!
ไม่ได้ปิดไอ้นี่ไง ไม่ได้เปิดปิดแจ้งเตือนอะไรเลยไงพ่อโทรมาแต่ว่ามันก็ต้องรับสายนะ
It's a miracle.
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
จบแล้ว
Are you alright?
We're saved. The prophecy was wrong.
ฝนตกแดดออกว่ะฝนตกแดดอ่อนมันก็ชอบแปลกใจ
The old soil can skyship the various people
อะไร
always
ละ
go.
พี่เราควรในนี่ไหม
Wow, Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. Well, Public Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true...
Paimon's curious too.
And that's exactly...
Are you?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on, let's head...
สุดท้ายแล้วเหรอไปรู้จักสุดท้ายจริงเปล่าไปเถอะ โอ้ชัปเตอร์นี้เราเล่นนานมากนะทุกคนรอไปเกือบ3 ชั่วโมงเนี่ยตอนแรกผมนึกว่าชัปเตอร์นี้ประมาณ2 ชั่วโมงใช่ไหมแม่งรอไป3 ชั่วโมงเลยว่ะนี่ใกล้จบแล้วเนี่ยน่าจะเหลือเรื่องฟูรินาอีกก็น่าจะจบแล้วโอ้โหน่าเยอะกว่าที่ผมคิดไว้
Navia! Oh, it's you.
Hey, we're just having a look around.
I'm here to update myself.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunsnet. Our residents are...
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of... But if you don't mind...
I get where you're coming from.
That would be fine.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the...
Huh? You're here?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss...
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking if you...
Forget it.
I see.
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you...
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let her off
ทำไม
that
จะมีบท
easy.
ต่อไปอีกนะ
All
มัน
right,
ไม่จบ
then
นะ
everyone...
แต่ว่าบทต่อไปน่าจะสั้นละ
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news, and freshness is the key. Also, not to brag, but wow.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that.
Whoa, you're welcome.
That's a...
In truth, I told him that it...
You're right.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear...
นี่เราจะไปทุกเมืองเลยปะเนี่ย ขึ้นอ่ะทำไมภาพหายอ่ะ
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
ภาพมันหายโอ้ลืมโอ้ถึงว่าลืม
Looks
เปิด
like
ภาพ
you've
ดิ
been missing us.
Did you come all the
Of course. I'm here to welcome you.
It's an honor to.
No need to thank me.
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
ลืมเปิดภาพหายทุกคน โอ้ยวันนี้อย่างรั่วเลยกูรั่วจัดเลย
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her fake.
Sir, please don't.
But it looks.
No,
Now, I might not look it, but I act the boat that brought about. Still, if I might have.
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory.
Really? Well, that.
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead.
มีคนที่เข้ามารับชมด้วยนะครับ
like to take another photo of this couple of researchers?
Did you really have to use the word couple?
Well, then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up?
Thanks, sure.
ไม่เป็นไรก็สามารถมาคุยกันได้นะ มีปัญหาอะไรก็มาคุยกันได้
This kind of thing before. Oh, seems like
คุย
everyone's
มาได้เลย
here.
ไม่ว่าจะเรื่องอะไรผมก็จะตอบมาคุยกันได้ทุกเรื่อง
Ah, Siegeween.
นะ
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you, take some pretty photos of our head nurse?
Sure.
ถ่ายรูปกันดีกว่ามาแป๊บนึงถ่ายรูปกัน
Do I have to smile? So,
พยาบาล
been at the fortress?
Same old, as you can see. Fontaine's undergone some.
Other than that flying ship.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes. Am I?
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun. Not that you.
I'll just leave the spotlight to you two. I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers are still waiting for his return.
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine.
โชคดีโชคร้าย
Bad being that they must face extended sentences for abetting his escape.
Oh, actually, what about you? Are things good?
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along, and so will my duties. As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Hey, everyone. The photo
ทุกคนนะ
shoot's
ทุกคน
done.
มาต้องถ่ายรูปไปแล้วถ่ายรูปเสร็จแล้ว มาไหนขอดูรูปหน่อยขอดูรูปหน่อ
In
ย
that case, let's call it a day.
มีสัมภาษณ์ด้วย
Thanks for your cooperation.
ขอบคุณมาก
Come
มาก
on, traveler, let's go.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe.
maybe who knows
All right. Last stop, the docks.
แหม maybe who knows เนี่ยเสียงโคตรกวนอ่ะงงมากเลยกดมาเมืองใหญ่แต่ว่าทำไมมันออกข้างๆวะแอะ
Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte.
Would you like a magic pocket?
What sort of gadget is it?
It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things.
Trick a friend.
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Is this what you...
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have...
Lynette sure is working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist...
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine...
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out.
Lynette, could you come?
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. Father says that you did a great deal during the latest events. She's very grateful for your
That's all right. We were more than
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. After Lady Farina left.
a diplomatic gift. A gnosis?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But when it could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore,
That's true, but this is a gnosis we're talking.
I would agree. I suspect you'll have.
But back to.
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Father!
Well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the traveler by chance.
Are you going to take the gnosis back to Snezhnaya?
That is our duty as harbingers. Yes. Don't be too preoccupied with switching my masks. Is something well, that depends on many things. As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh?
Greetings, Miss Journalist. That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear The sea breeze is quite pleasant.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews. Thank you.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, traveler, Paimon, you take.
To move things about?
That's right. I guess this must. All right then.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte out. Shall we go see her Nebula?
ไม่จบอีกกันเนี่ยไม่ได้ไล่นะแต่ว่าแบบว่าแหมมันก็นานแล้วนะเกือบ3 ชั่วโมงแล้วนะวันนี้คลิปเนี้ยวันนี้ซับไปเกือบ3 ชั่วโมงแล้วเนี่ยโอ้โห3 ชั่วโมงแล้วเนี่ย3 ชั่วโมงก็ถือว่าเป็นอะไรที่ค่อนข้างนานนะเข้ายังไงวะเนี่ย
Really? Oh, I suppose. In any case, you came at.
All right, let's have it. So that's what happened? Focalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored, but Paimon still doesn't quite get
วันนี้
what
คนที่เข้ามารับช
For
ม
me,
ด้วยนะครับ
the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them,
นี่แปลว่าเรียนแบบนะ
I could use In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans,
การคำตัด
and
สิน
thus would naturally no longer
มึ
be
งโคตรโกง
dissolved
เลย
by
นี่เวล
water from the primordial sea.
Fossilor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy of and in a manner of speaking, Fossilor.
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
มีอะไรบ้าง
Hang on. When we spoke to Linny earlier, we guessed that there might be some.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
มีอะไรแบ่งปันพอดี
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface.
มีเรื่องจะบอก
It
ว่า
went something like this.
แฟลชแบ็กแล้วเหรอเนี่ยสเกิร์ตสวยมากเลยนี่น่ากดอยากได้มากเลยนี่กดเลย
We're going to head topside to see what's going on.
เย็ดเค
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here,
เรากด
so
แล้ว
I'm
ล่ะ
no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power. It is the authority of the planet's
มังกร
primordial
ปลา
dragons,
ของโลก
but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know what you speak of.
Of course. How could I? You should have the remains of the third descender on your
โอ้
person.
ซากกระดูก
Yes.
ของผู้ยืนคนที่ 3 ติดตัวไว้ใช่ไหม
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
According to your parlance.
Well, that much is true. After Fossilor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me.
มอบโนซิสให้ฉัน
But I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just.
I've been training with my master, the Fowl, ever since I was young. And it is only natural for those who are greater than humanity. Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from to live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies,
เมื่อตายไป
the
ความสัมพันธ์
bonds
ว่า
he once had with this world shall
กลายเป็
all
นคำสา
turn
ป
to curse.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my...
This third descender you refer to.
Master never mentioned them to me. If you're interested, though, I could ask him.
Next time, you believe.
I do.
That's what she told me.
The remains of. So that's what.
All the same, as
And she said.
if she speaks the. I guess that you might already. That means that the no.
Like. No. Comparing the traveler to the. That's what you say, but.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information.
Alright.
Yes.
But.
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will. I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wish life flow and what ultimate.
โอเค จบ ฉาก 5ว่าเขานั่งช้าเลยทีเดียวนะสำหรับฉากนี้อ๋อต้องไปเล่นเนี่ยเดี๋ยวต้องมาเล่นอันนี้ต่อ โอเควันนี้เราอยู่กันมานานมากเลยประมาณเกือบ3 ชั่วโมงก็เดี๋ยวเราพูดจบกันได้ประมาณ3 ชั่วโมงละก็ถือว่าขอบคุณทุกคนมากนะครับที่เข้ามาพูดคุยเข้ามามาติดตามผมด้วยขอบคุณมากครับที่เข้ามารับชมนะครับวันนี้ผมขอตัวลาไปก่อนสวัสดีครับ